Picture this. It's the year 2001. You're watching Nickelodeon. It's airing Rugrats. But suddenly, a CGI kid shows up on screen and does some crazy things. Whoa! He also turns SpongeBob into a creepy puppet. What's happening? This is the story of Nickelodeon's lost promotional interruptions. In fall of 2001, Nickelodeon had the film Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius set to release in December 21st of that same year. To promote the movie, they released a series of short films, online games based on said shorts, and they even collabed with Trying Dead Dumb. But they also did something interesting. Jimmy invading other shows on the network! Here's how it worked. Jimmy, sometimes accompanied by Goddard, would randomly show up during an airing of a show and he would do some crazy things on screen, such as messing with the screen bug, turning the characters into puppets, and rewinding the episode. These promos would run from September to December of 2001, but they would return two times in the following year on April Fools of 2002 and June 29, 2002, the same day Hey Arnold the movie premiered in theaters. I guess they chose that specific day because both movies used the same main character up front, his friends behind him, and the villain reaching out to them in the background poster, though JN did it better since it has soul, while the Hey Arnold one is kinda bland and misleading since none of Arnold's friends aside from Helga and Jenna tried to save the neighborhood. Anyways, after that, the promos faded into obscurity since these would air randomly on TV. That was until March 7, 2016 when Lost Media Wiki user CDCB2 found the interruption of the SpongeBob episode Employee of the Month. And ever since then, people began the search to find more of these lost JN TV promos. Over the years, a couple of promos were found. Obviously not all of them, but still. I will split them into two categories. The ones that had known dates from when they aired and the ones with unknown dates. The website Nick Story Archives has a page listing the promos with an attempt to create the chronological rundown of every known interruption and when they occur. So, let's begin! The first interruption is from September 21st, 2001 during the Rugrats episode Pee-wee Scouts. When the babies are talking, Jimmy and Goddard play fetch and later tug of war with the Nickelodeon Leaf logo. It ends with Goddard taking a big bite out of it, but don't worry, it goes back to normal. The next interruption from October 4 was also during a Rugrats episode, this time Hand-Me-Downs. When Tommy and Chucky are talking, Jimmy bulks up the Nickelodeon logo. Jeez. The next show was Hey Arnold on October 15th. Hey, that's my brother's birthday! During the episode It Girl, or at least I think it is, Jimmy changes the lead Springbok to be shaped like his head. The next two were SpongeBob episodes in which Jimmy temporarily turns the characters into puppets. This happened on October 17th during Cookie when Mr. Krabs warned SpongeBob and Patrick about playing with cookies, and again on October 30 during Squeaky Boots when Mr. Krabs tells SpongeBob the value of the boots. Personally, I don't like these puppets. They just have Luigi's Mansion's levels of looking off. Not necessarily uncanny, but still pretty weird looking, especially SpongeBob. Meanwhile, Patrick and Mr. Krabs look weirdly chibi for some reason. Interestingly, the official SpongeBob YouTube channel has made remakes of older episodes with puppets, and when you compare them to these old ones, you can clearly tell that the newer puppets are massive improvements. On November 3rd, 2001, Jimmy Neutron interrupted the episode School Play from Hey Arnold. By how? He changed the screen into trippy effects neon lights, and flashy lights. The latter causes Jimmy to laugh because kids now have seizures. Yeah, not cool, Jimmy. And then he leaves. Then, on November 12th, JN showed up in ripped pants. He rewinds the episode, plays the scene of SpongeBob ordering ice cream in slow motion, replays the scene of SpongeBob saying "Rip Pan" several times, and then he leaves when the lifeguard is holding SpongeBob thought to be dead body. What? Notably, November 22nd contains two interruptions, one for Rocket Power and one for Cat Dog. At 5:30 p.m. during the Rocket Power episode New Squid on the Block, Jimmy appeared inside of the turkey scream bug. Sadly, we currently only had this image. Later at 7:30 p.m. during the Cat Dog TV movie The Great Parent Mystery, Jimmy blows up the turkey scream bug. On the next day, November 23rd, JN showed up during the As Told by Ginger TV movie Summer of Caprice, where he stretched out of the turkey screen bug and walk around on the screen like Spider-Man, and then he puts it back in place. Then, on November 25th, we got a repeat of Rip Pants, nothing different from the one we saw on November 12th. Moving on. But the next day, November 26th, gave us two interruptions for Hey Arnold, JN rewinding and replaying scenes in Helga Sleepwalks, and JN playing fetch when Goddard using the Nick Scream bug in Fighting Families. As previously stated in the beginning of the video, these were made to promote the movie, which was released on December 21st, 2001, but the interruptions would make two more appearances in 2002. Fittingly, on April Fool's during 6:30 a.m., JN changed the effects during Rocket Power, and then later at 7:30 p.m., he gave the babies from Rugrats his hair. And on June 29, 2002, JN's last interruption was a repeat of Hooky. Pretty ironic they didn't choose an episode of Hey Arnold since his movie came out that day. So those were the promos with no dates for when they aired on TV, but there's still a couple more promos. These ones are unsorted as they have no confirmed dates for when they air, but here's how Nick's story organized them, okay? First, during an airing of the Fairly Odd Parents episode Chin Up, Jimmy switched the program to the Wild Thornberrys, Hey Arnold, and SpongeBob. Sadly, we currently only had two images. Jimmy would later do a similar thing into the As Told by Ginger episode Come Back Little CEO Girl, just with random live action footage instead. And speaking of As Told by Ginger, Jimmy at one point rotated the screen around during an airing of As Told by Ginger, and then later the show Tanya. Don't worry, it's an obscure show that only lasted for one season. It's currently the only known live action show JN interrupted. Jimmy and Goddard duplicated the screen during an airing of the Wild Thornberrys. Man, I wish we got at least footage of these interruptions, cause these ones seems like the craziest ones. Somewhere between September and November of 2001, JN used the Nick Scream bug to place Fetch when Goddard during an employing of the month from SpongeBob, bounce on the Nickelodeon Scream bug during Rocket Power, and walk around the screen during from SpongeBob. During November of 2001, JN blew up the Nick Turkey Scream bug during Give a Gap from the Wild Thornberrys, and during December 2001, we got a repeat of the puppets in Squeaky Boots from SpongeBob. Of course, those aren't all the promos because there's still plenty of them that are lost over time, or at least we think. The Lost Media Wiki listed some of them as existence unconfirmed since we don't have any proof that they existed as of July of 2025. These unconfirmed promos are Jimmy giving Cat Dog his hair, glitching an episode of Doug, giving Dip and Gas from Invader Sim his hair makes sense. Dip has a big head like JN. During an episode of Pelswick, another obscure show, Jimmy replaces the episode's audio with sounds of cows moving. Okay, I hope this one is real. JN did a similar thing with two episodes of Rugrats. One where he changed the audio into Spanish. I don't know if it was either the Latin Spanish or European Spanish dub, or it was just the American actors speaking Spanish. And another one when dogs barking. Wait, Spike? And lastly, Jimmy rewinded and fast forward the SpongeBob episode No Free Rides. Considering that No Free Rides was already a crazy episode, I bet Jane's interruption made it even crazier. Now remember, as of July of 2025, we don't have any footage nor images of these interruptions, so we don't know if they're 100% real. So these could be cases of Mandela effect or urban legends, but I guess that's the case when lost media. Still, I hope the ones with Rugrats in Spanish, the crazy replays of No Free Rides, and especially the membrane siblings with Jimmy's hair are real. So until any footage or images of these particular promos get discovered, take the segment of the video with a grain of salt. Let's do a recap. Currently, 16 promos with their dates for when they originally aired have been discovered, 10 promos when unknown dates have been discovered, and 7 promos have their existence unconfirmed. But obviously, those can't beat all the promos ever made. We don't know how many interruptions were made, and as seen with SpongeBob, some of these got repeated, so that begs the question, will all the interruptions ever get found? Well, the answer is very complicated. The promos were made to promote Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius, which was released in the US on December 21st, 2001. And they aired randomly between September to December of that year, and then made 2 brief returns in 2002, which means that the interruptions officially ended over 20 years ago. The only way that the remaining interruptions ever get found was that someone has old TV recordings of Nick during fall or the winter of 2001. And since we know that some of these promos got repeated, those may be the luckiest ones. But remember that these were made for the US only, so people from North America should have these recordings. But until then, the search for these Jimmy Neutron TV promos end here, and they remain as partially lost. Thanks for watching, I got a blast, but I will see you guys next time. Bye!